Comedy is I've been doing it for 15 years now, and it's getting tough. It is. People are very sensitive now. I don't know if you've noticed. You can't say shit anymore. You can't. I was at a show recently. I said the word slut as a joke. This young woman stood up. She's like, you can't say that. I'm like, really? Because of politically correct bullshit? And she was like, no, because of your lisp. You can't say the word slut. Fucking woke shit. It's out of control. A lisp. Lisps are fun, because a lisp is in the word lisp. That's fun. It's really one of the few conditions where when you say you have it, you prove you have it. You know what I mean? Like when you say you have diarrhea, you don't shit your pants immediately. You're like, I have diarrhea, fuck, why did I say the word? I got shit in my pants. I was on a date once. This is totally true. Everything else I'm gonna say tonight is a lie. I was on a date with this girl, Jessica, and I was talking to her with my lisp, and I swear to God, she goes, what's that accent? She said that. She's like, where are you from? I was like, I am from the Looney Tunes. Do you recognize it? Not many people know that accent. I'm very impressed. I used to watch the Looney Tunes as a little kid, and I thought I talked normally because of it. I swear to God. And then I went to school, and I'm like, why is everyone sounding like a fucking freak? Started bullying kids. I'm like, you're supposed to spit when you say the letter S, you weirdo. Fucking loser. People can be mean about the list, though. I recently posted a video on YouTube. This is true. Someone commented, say it, don't spray it, fatty. Which is hurtful. But here's the thing. I didn't get mad. I'm very zen now. He commented that on YouTube. I just took a breath, calmed down, and flagged him for child pornography. Because that is one of the options on YouTube. Do you know that? You can flag anyone for child pornography. Why would you pick anything else? Why? I flag everyone who's mean to me with child pornography. It's awesome. You're like, you got a big head, bro. I'm like, oh yeah, well the FBI's about to raid you, bitch. How do you feel about that? You hurt my feelings, you go to jail, motherfucker. I hate mean YouTube comments. I have no self-esteem anymore. And I think there should be a rule. What do you think about this? There should be a rule where if you leave a mean YouTube comment, you should have to include at the end of the comment the sad thing in your life making you such a miserable piece of shit. That's a good rule. Because then my feelings wouldn't be hurt if they were just like, fuck you, you're not funny, my stepdad molested me. I'm like, all right, I'm funny, he just got issues, you know? Look at you, you fat, lispy Jewish comic. I'm 12. I'm not sad, I'm just pushing moral boundaries. And I'll flag him for child pornography too, I don't give a shit. I take no prisoners. Everyone's very angry now. That's the country. Everyone's very angry, and everyone's in their own little political bubble, and no one questions their beliefs anymore, which I don't get. Like, I'm a liberal, but I'm not happy about it. It's hard work being a liberal. I think one of the hardest parts about being a liberal is knowing if that, like, a crazy person stabbed me on the street, I'd have to be like, well, you had a hard life. The stab wound hurts, but it doesn't come close to the economic disadvantages you've had to undergo in your life. I'm bleeding out, but it's all white privilege. It's fine. Just throw me to the curb. I'm happy to give back to the community. You have mixed feelings as a liberal. You do. Like, I got mugged 2 years ago in New York, right? And I was so relieved the guy was white. You have no idea. The cops were like, what did he look like? I was all smug. I was like, he was white. I bet you didn't expect that, you racist piece of this shit. I bet your head's gonna explode now upon finding out the criminal was white, you racist fuck. And then I got mugged again a year later, and the cops were like, what do you look like? And I was like, it's not important. How can you ask me that? I don't see color. It's tough being a liberal. It's tough knowing that if society collapsed, conservatives are just better prepared in that situation. Doesn't mean they're right, but they are better prepared. Like, if there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm switching sides immediately. And so which side do you want to be on when the fucking zombies come? Do you really want to be with a group that includes everyone? No, you want to be with a group that loves guns and hates outsiders. That's the group. That's the group. Look at him clapping for racism. That's the group. We all know liberals would not survive a zombie apocalypse. They wouldn't. The zombies would come and liberals would be like, we should just let them in, right? They're a marginalized group. We should just let the zombies, the alive impaired. We should. I'm sorry, I'm not creating a safe space for the zombies. I apologize. They eat people, but we eat cow. Every culture's different. You can't judge. You can't. I hate the extreme left and the extreme right. They can both suck my circumcised dick, honestly. They both suck. Here's how you know they both suck. Take both their views on gun control and imagine them trying to solve another problem in society using that fucked up logic. For instance, shark attacks. The extreme right would be like, the only way we can stop all these shark attacks is by placing more sharks in the ocean. That's the only way. The only thing that can stop a bad shark is a good shark. There is no connection between sharks and shark attacks. I know as I say it out loud, it seems like there is, but there isn't. Trust me. We gotta dump more sharks in the water. And the extreme left would be like, that's ridiculous, okay? Clearly what we have to do is defund the Coast Guard. That's the only way. All lifeguards are bastards. Every single one, seriously. Whether you're liberal or conservative, I think we can all come together and agree on what we have in common, instead of what divides us. For instance, liberals or conservatives, we're all selfish pieces of shit. It's a selfish country. Here's how you know it's a selfish country, all right? When you break the law in America, oftentimes the sentencing is a thing called community service. You know it's a selfish nation when the punishment for crimes here is being a good person. That's the punishment. That's the deterrent. We're like, you better not shoplift, because if you do, you're gonna have no choice but to help other people. Do you want that? And everyone's like, no, just give me the jail time. Seriously? Just give me the jail time. But there's still courage. It's not all cowardice. I was at a hotel recently in San Francisco, and I saw a very brave sign outside the hotel. The sign said, at this hotel, we welcome all races and religions. And I was like, man, that takes a lot of balls. Seriously, to follow a law. That everyone is already following. Over their water fountain, it said even black people can drink from this water fountain. I was like, this is a pioneering hotel. This hotel does not fuck around. It's just when you say something obvious like that, I feel like it makes everyone uncomfortable. That's my problem. Like, I'm Jewish, right? If I was at a country club and they're like, hey, by the way, all Jews are welcome here, I'd be like, well, now I don't feel welcome. Because when you say something obvious, what happens is it makes you feel like the exact opposite has taken place. That's the effect. And I'll give you another example to prove that. Let's say you're at like a Red Lobster, right? And imagine the waiter comes up and he's like, hey, by the way, just to let you know, no one here jerked off in the clam chowder. You'd be like, excuse me? No, I'm just letting you know, no one in the last hour took out their penis and masturbated in the clam chowder. That is what didn't happen. I'm just letting you know. No one did. It says it on the sign, but I just wanted to let you know No one jacked off in the clam. You'd be like, I didn't think anyone jacked off in the clam chowder until you said that. And now someone definitely jacked off. That is 100% what happened. Someone definitely jacked off, most likely you, in the clam chowder. I am certain of 3 things now. Dash, taxes, and then there's cum in the soup I just ate. But I want to be one of these guys like angry about signs. A lot of people are angry about signs now, you know? Like a lot of people now think if you let transgender women into women's bathrooms, it'll be like a loophole for predators, you know? And you're allowed to think that. But I will say, if you do think that, that does mean you believe there are guys out there going, man, I'd really love to go into a woman's bathroom and abduct and murder someone. But unfortunately, I'm just not allowed in there. So I guess I'm just not gonna murder anyone. I want to murder. It's in my soul to murder. I'm a serial killer, but it says no boys allowed. How can I get around that? There's no way. I mean, I'll murder someone, but I'm not about to break bathroom sign rules. I'm not a monster. It's like that time I was chasing a woman in the park with a knife, and I almost got her, and then she got into the bathroom. I was like, fuck! God damn it! You're safe for now! I'm gonna stand out here and wait for a bill to get passed. That's why I don't like Joe Rogan. He's transphobic. I hate Joe Rogan. And I know a lot of you look like dedicated listeners up front, but I hate Joe Rogan. I think he's a danger to society. I do. I really do. He's always spreading misinformation. I hate him. The only way I would even remotely consider being on his podcast is if he asked me. Other than that, it ain't fucking happening. I'm sorry. For me to abandon my morals, either him or someone on his staff would have to respond to my many emails begging to get on. Otherwise, he can go fuck himself. But everyone gets offended now. A lot of people get offended, but it's always a double standard. Like, for instance, a lot of young woke people like to get offended by cultural appropriation, which I get. It's very hurtful. But I notice no young woke people ever get offended by what I consider one of the worst forms of cultural appropriation, which is hot people using body positivity. Now, there's some hot people in here, and this is a fucking intervention. Listen to me carefully, okay? Body positivity is not for you. It's to uplift people like me with shitty bodies. It's not to make you feel better about your already hot body. That's insane. But all of Instagram now is just hot people being proud of their body, which isn't brave. You're fucking hot. It's brave if I'm proud of my body. And I know that because I recently posted a video of me going down a water slide without a shirt, and 12 people messaged me to say I was being very brave. But it's insane. Every single picture on Instagram, every single one is like the hottest woman ever on a beach, just incredible body, couldn't be hotter, and then some bullshit caption like, I am no longer ashamed of this mole on my knee. Hashtag body positivity. And all the comments are like, you're a hero! You're so brave! Move over Rosa Parks, seriously! Not since the D-Day invasion have I seen such courage as you showing this mole on an otherwise perfect, hot body! Not since the 9/11 first responders bravely entered those towers have I seen such unmitigated heroism as you showing this mole that you need a fucking microscope to see in a picture where the focus is clearly on your tits. Oskar Schindler! Could have saved twice as many Jews! It would not come close to the level of valor you've displayed by showing this mole that's not even in the picture! A picture that you know everyone is jacking off to right now! And here's the other problem with hot women. They don't want to fuck me. To be honest, that's my main problem, really. My main issue. They're like, I don't want to fuck you. I'm like, that's rude. No, I fucked some really hot women in my time. They've all had borderline personality disorder. That's my loophole. That's my way in. Every time a hot woman's into me, I'm like, she's definitely been committed a couple times. Hot people. I mean, they have problems too, I guess. I hate hot guys, man. The worst is when hot guys give advice on getting laid. It's like, shut the fuck up. A hot guy giving advice on getting laid is like someone who only plays bumper bowling teaching someone else how to bowl. Not that hard, man. You're overthinking it, buddy. You just take the ball, throw it, and it hits all the pins no matter what. It's really easy. It's so simple. I have a complicated relationship with women. A lot of it really is based on lies, because I used to live at home till I was 31 years old. Yeah, I'm 29. I have 2 years left. I used to live at home, and whenever they go on vacation, I'd bring women back to I was gonna say my place, back to their place. But I wouldn't tell them it was their place, because I don't want to look like a fucking loser. So I told them it was my place, which brought up a problem, which is that my bedroom at my parents' place is in the basement. And it turns out it's very hard to make women feel comfortable. And you're like, all right, this is my home. The house I own. Now let's adjourn to my living quarters underneath the earth. That's right, I live in the basement of my own home. What? No, I'm not Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. So instead of that, I don't want to look like a weirdo, so I take them into my parents' bedroom and have them think it was my bedroom. But it actually backfired, because now it's actually even creepier. Because now they didn't think I had a bedroom in the basement, but they did think I had, over my bed, a giant portrait of my mother on her wedding day. Just looking down at all the women I fucked. Like I'm gonna be like, is this one good enough for you, mommy? Does she live up to your standards, mommy? Watch, mommy, is she good enough for you? What? I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to mommy! Mommy! Even Freud would be like, that's a little on the nose. A little on the nose. My mom's great. My mom has butchered every movie title that's ever come out of her mouth. And usually it's hilarious. Recently, it was bad. She had just seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. Remember that movie? Great movie about an Asian family, you know, multi-dimensional, whatever the fuck. Great movie. And I'm on the phone with her. I don't have a joke for this. This is just an actual exchange. I'm on the phone with her. I swear to God, she's like, I'm halfway through that movie that won the Oscar last year. And so far, I hate Asians everywhere all the time. I cannot stand all these Asians all over the place. I couldn't correct her. I couldn't do it. Because life is hard. And one of the few things that gives me joy is knowing that she could be at a party right now. This very second, and she could hear people talking about movies on the other side of the room and just yell out, Have you all seen all these Asians everywhere? Not a fan. Not a fan. I have 3 siblings. They all have kids. Kids are the best. I love little kids. My favorite thing about little kids, you ever talk to a little kid and they get so excited, they get stuck on a line like a record skipping, and they think you don't notice? It's adorable. I was talking to my nephew. He was like, "Oh, this Bobby, and we were on the playground, and then we went on the monkey bars." I'm like, "What the fuck just happened? Did you just have a stroke and think I wouldn't notice? I was about to hit you to keep you moving, but I didn't because hitting kids is frowned upon." Little kids are hilarious. Every time a little kid says a sentence, the first half always sounds like an adult, and then the second half sounds like a toddler. Every sentence is like, "Well, you know, actually, I just pooped my pants." Shit, I thought we were about to have a serious conversation for a second. I have one nephew, he's 7, and he's an asshole. But he's very mean, but it's funny too. So like as a comedian, it's like bittersweet, my reaction. Like I was talking to him recently, I asked if he could name all his uncles and aunts, because I don't know how to talk to kids. I talk to kids like I'm testing someone for Alzheimer's. What's your parents' name? Do you know your birthday? So I'm talking to him, and I go, "Can you name all your uncles and aunts?" And I swear to God, he looks at me and he goes, "They already have names, idiot." So I told him there was no God, and then I flagged him for child pornography. I don't know if there's a God. I don't know. I will say sometimes people talk about how like God intervenes in their life, and they always give evidence, and the evidence seems a little, I don't know what the word is, like a little cocky. That right? I don't know. Like I was talking to my friend the other day. There's an actual statement that came out of his face. He was like, "Man, I was on a diet last week, and after 5 days, I just couldn't take it anymore. So I got Skittles from the vending machine. But then, check this out, the Skittles got stuck in the vending machine. It was a sign from God to stay on my diet." Yeah, that really checks out. God ignores the Holocaust. And the Rwandan genocide. And then he sees a fat guy about to get Skittles. And he's like, "I can no longer stand silently by. I can no longer stand silently by. The cries of men have fallen on deaf ears through the history of civilization. Every atrocity, I wasn't home. But I will break the law of the physics just this once. This chubby asshole must stay on his keto diet." Obviously, I'm the person in that joke. I try to diet, but I'll get fat on any diet. What? What? Oh, okay, shit. Apparently I sweat so much that it literally has to stop production. It's better like this, because sometimes I sweat and then I start using this, and I just feel like a racist sheriff, one of those civil rights documentaries, you know? Like Eyes on the Prize. I always cut to like a fat racist sheriff, and he's always like, "We don't need you Yankees coming down here and telling us like this." So I try to diet, but I'll get fat on any diet. That's like my superpower. I will find the loophole in any diet. I'm like, oh, this diet says you have to stop eating by 8 p.m.? Well, I bet you didn't expect me to fly to a different time zone. I bet you didn't see that coming. Shut it down. The thing is, like, I just have an unhealthy relationship with food, and a lot of people have it, and a lot of people don't. Like, if I'm eating something bad for you, it means my life is not going well. And I forget, that's not true for other people. Like, you're like a skinny asshole, right? For you, you could eat a bag of M&Ms, you don't think twice about it. And that's crazy to me. It is. I saw a skinny guy, totally skinny, order a chocolate croissant at 8 in the morning. And it wasn't a big deal. He was fine with it. If you ever saw me order a chocolate croissant at 8 a.m., it means I'm killing myself later that day. I have the suicide all planned out. I know the roof I'm gonna jump off of. And I'm like, well, this is my last day on Earth. I might as well fuck it, get a chocolate croissant at 8 a.m. I want to lose weight, man, but you know, I go to the gym, but you know, I'll always be stocky. I can lose weight, but always have like a Danny DeVito vibe, you know what I mean? But in my head, I think I can really change. Like in my head, I'm like, yeah, I'll go to the gym for 5 months, and then I'll be like 6'2" and Dominican and have like a large cock. Just need 5 months on the elliptical, and that will happen. I'll always be stocky. I can lose weight, but I'll always look kind of stocky. Even in Auschwitz, I would look like this. I totally would. Seriously, keep in mind I'm Jewish for this bit, but seriously. In Auschwitz, I would look at, you'd be all these skinny people, and it's just me. Button coming out of my pajamas they wear, you know? Everyone thinks I'm hiding food. I'm not. I don't know. They would liberate the camp, and they'd see me, and they'd be like, that's a guard hiding. Get him right now. Like, I'm not a guard, I can't lose the weight. It's part of my, and he's like, all right, you've convinced us you're Jewish. I'm glad you all laughed at that. That's a tough joke to laugh at. Because it is a joke about Jews being annoying within a Holocaust joke. I want to be skinny. I want to be skinny so badly. That's what I want to be, and I'll never be skinny. And I told it to my friend, and my friend's hot. She doesn't fucking get it. I told her I want to be skinny. She said a classic hot person thing. She goes, you don't have to be skinny, Raanan. You just have to be healthy. That's what matters. I'm like, sure, that's true. But I can't get women to sleep with me by just telling them I have good cholesterol. You know what I mean? That's not like a good pickup line, you know? I can't go up to a woman at a bar and be like, hey, baby, I know I'm fat, but it's all from avocado, the good fat. This is all good fat, baby. It's all virgin oil. You gotta be attracted to it. It's not gross, it's the good fat. Where are you going? You haven't even seen my triglyceride levels yet. Come back here. You're gonna get so wet when you see my lipid count, I swear to God. Oh my God, you're gonna get so wet. These bitch tits are from sugar-free cookies, seriously. I'm very self-conscious about my weight. I weighed myself the other day at 7 a.m., prime weighing time. Women know what I'm talking about. Prime weighing time. And it was a high number on prime weighing time. And I told my friend, and my friend goes, well, you gotta weigh yourself naked. I was legitimately insulted. Seriously, I'm mad bringing it up right now. I was like, dude, do you think this is my first fucking rodeo? Are you kidding? I'm always naked on the scale. I invented being naked on the scale. Are you out of your mind? It's a fine process. I'm naked. I just took a shit. I shaved all my pubes. I have 1 foot off the scale. Even at the doctor's office, when the nurse tries to weigh me, I'm like, I'm getting undressed. You can stay here or not. But this is happening. I'm getting undressed. I'm gonna take a poop, and then we can do this, okay? Because I'm not gonna weigh myself at 4 p.m. Fully clothed? Are you out of your fucking mind? this where they always put you on a scale that looks like the first scale ever invented. Are they ever gonna upgrade that shit, ever? You know what I'm talking about? It's like a pole with weights on top. It's the same scale Archimedes built in the year 1. It should be in a natural history museum, but instead it's in every doctor's office. And it sucks, because it doesn't even tell you the weight. You stand on it like it's the scales of justice. And then the nurse stands behind you, looks at you, guesses in her head just how fat a piece of shit you are. And then does these mathematical calculations that take about like an hour and a half. Like, all right, 150 plus 50. You're fatter than I thought. Don't worry, we'll get it on the second try. I always get it on the second try. 150 plus 90. All right, hey, you're less fat than my second guess, but you're still more fat than my first guess. Don't worry, I have a formula to get to my third guess. I'm like, can you just get out a digital scale for the love of God? Can we please stop playing The Price is Right with my fats? I'm glad you all laughed at that. Because I did that bit, I swear to God, 2 weeks ago in Birmingham, Alabama, and it bombed completely. It turns out it is very hard to do fat jokes when you're the thinnest person in the room. There was a real disconnect. The joke did not work. I'm like, I'm so fat. I look out in the audience, half of them are in wheelchairs. I swear to God. Man, you're not fat, you can walk. In Alabama, you're either fat or you can walk. Those are the two designations. Talking about being fat when you're in perfectly good shape. I fucking hate when hot people use body positivity. Fucking hate it. Yeah, I was in Alabama. Before Alabama, I was in Florida, and I like Florida. A lot of people shit on it. I like it. Florida's an interesting place. Florida now has like this weird mix between like fascism and libertarianism. Everyone there is like, I don't want any gay books in the library, and also that's my alligator, and I can fuck it if I want to. Get those gay books out of here, but let me fuck my alligator. I was in Key West at a gig, and there was roosters all over Key West. And they were really annoying. They were waking me up every morning, and I was curious why roosters wake you up. I had no idea. And now that I'm annoyed, I was like, you know what? Let me look it up, you know? So I looked it up, why roosters, you know, crow in the morning. And it's interesting. Does anyone know? It's a mating call. That's how horny roosters are. Just think about that. I mean, I'm horny, but that's a whole other level. Just think about that. The minute they wake up at 4 in the morning on someone's roof, they open their eyes and are like, someone fuck me right now. I am ready to right now. Someone fuck me. I have been up now for, oh my God, 3 seconds. And no one has had sex with me. This is an outrage. Someone fuck me right now. Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. Everybody wake up, wake up. You all think you can sleep while I'm this horny? Go fuck yourself. Wake up and one of you fuck me. I've now been up for 10 seconds. Fuck me. Shut up, Rooster! I'll shut up when a chicken sucks my dick! Then I'll shut the up! You wanna suck my dick? Please suck my dick! You don't understand the agony! It's been almost a minute since I've woken up! Suck my dick! Please! all we hear is cock-a-doodle-doo, but that's what they're saying. My favorite thing on the road is when I do that bit and someone comes in back from like the bathroom halfway through the bit. So they just see me on stage going, "F me! Someone f me! Any of you f me!" The person's like, wow, he's really doing the subtext behind comedy now. I love traveling, you know. I do get anxious when I fly. I get very anxious about turbulence. And I told that to my therapist. And I have a therapist who's good. He's very good. But he does this annoying thing. Whenever I tell him I'm anxious about something, he likes to remind me about the thing I'm actually anxious about deep down. And it's always way worse than the thing I think I'm anxious about. The other day I told him I was like anxious when I fly, like when turbulence makes me like hyperventilate. And I swear to God, he goes, "Raanan, you're not actually anxious about flying. What you're anxious about is dying without anyone loving you." So confront that. Like, I'd rather be anxious about the flight. What am I paying you for? But I have a girlfriend now, and it's great, you know. We have a great time. Thank you. It's a little make-a-wishy, but you did it! Someone fucked you! Someone answered your call. We have a good relationship. We fuck and watch true crime documentaries. That's pretty much everyone's relationship nowadays. I love true crime documentaries. Are we a fan of them in here? All right. I love them. My favorite part of every true crime documentary is there's always a part where the serial killer goes on trial, right? And they always cut to a journalist, and he always says the same thing. And I always find it weird. He always goes, "He showed no remorse in trial. Like, none." They always say that like they're shocked. I'm like, wouldn't it be weird if he did show remorse? Wouldn't that be the weird part? Just a serial killer in trial, like... Oh my God! Holy shit! I can't believe I fucking ate 12 people! What the hell was I thinking? Is that the family members? I forgot about the family members! I totally forgot about you! I feel so much remorse. You gotta let me go. That's how bad I feel. As you get older, your reaction to serial killer documentaries change. This is part of getting older. Like I saw one recently, and the narrator, and it said, "And the serial killer had hid 22 bodies in his home." And my first thought was like, God damn, that's a lot of square footage. Do you know what I mean? I was like looking around my studio apartment. I'm like, I could hide 2 bodies in here, tops. And that's not a brag, by the way. I could hide them, but I couldn't have people over. That would be the end. I couldn't have a party. That would be a very tense party. Hey, Raanan, can I get a beer from the fridge? I'll get it. I will get it. Let me open it without you looking. Me and my girlfriend have been together for about 1.5 years, and it's going great. We're thinking actually about having kids, and she's worried. She's like, I'm 37, what if we try to have kids, and I can't have kids? And I'm very sincere, because to me, I was like, babe, it's not a big deal. Like, if you can't have kids naturally, like, worst case scenario, we'll just have a better life. It's fine. It's fine. Worst case, nightmare scenario, all else fails, we'll just be well-rested all the time. We won't age rapidly like all my friends. I love being in a relationship, but it's always been hard for me to be in a relationship. I always run away. And this is the first time I've gone past 1 year. And it's because I have low self-esteem. I hate myself. This is how low my self-esteem is. When someone's into me, I view that as a red flag. Do you understand the level of self-hatred in that thought process? I'm like, oh, she's attracted to me? Fucking psycho. The problem is, I always fantasize about women who aren't into me. That's my big thing. I always fantasize about them. And the reason that is because I got rejected a lot growing up. I remember I was in Louisville when I was in college. And I remember I told this girl I was in love with her. I like really opened up to her. It was hard. It's the most love I ever felt. And I remember she said, and I quote, "I see you more like a brother." Yeah. Now, fortunately, we were in Kentucky, so I still had a shot, technically. At best, it was mixed signals, you know? It's a little joke to deflect the pain. But I always fantasized about women who aren't into me, and the reason that is because I got rejected so much as a child, that was my childhood experience. So now when a woman's not into me, I'm hurt, but I'm also nostalgic. She's like, "I don't want to fuck you," and I'm like, my childhood. And then when a woman's into me, I want to run away, you know, because I have trouble loving and being loved. But I'm trying to question my beliefs and really let myself be loved. And my girlfriend's great. She makes it easy. She's awesome. She's smart and beautiful. She's hot. She does not have borderline personality disorder. And she did make me say that. She's great, and she's a survivor. She survived open heart surgery last year, and she's doing great, yeah. Yeah. And it really brought us closer together, because now we're both out of breath when we go upstairs, and that's a bond. You know what I mean? This is true. On our first date, I'm not making this up, on our first date, she said she was about to get open heart surgery. And I was like, that's fine. I was pretty desperate at the time. I'm just telling my story. Whenever young people get offended, I always go, "I'm just telling my story." And they're like, "Oh, as long as you're telling your story, that's fine." And then our second date, she said she had herpes. That's also fine. Herpes is overly stigmatized. A lot of people have it. Sir, you definitely have it. It's overly stigmatized. And that's not personal. I always point to someone who looks like they have herpes in the audience. It's fine. Wow, he is not laughing at all about that. The fact that you're not laughing makes me think you 100% have herpes. Usually people are like, "Ha ha ha ha," but you're like... Which is fine. Herpes is fine. Herpes is overly stigmatized. A lot of people have it. It's not a big deal. And also, you have less chance of getting herpes if you have sex with someone who already knows they have herpes. At least that's how she explained it to me. And then our third date, I'm not making this up, our third date, she said she had just found out she had gotten bed bugs. Bed bugs. That's the fucking line. Bed bugs? Are you kidding me? I'd rather get AIDS than bed bugs, seriously. And not the fun, sexy AIDS now, like the old school, like Philadelphia AIDS. You know that AIDS, the kind of AIDS where when you play it in a movie, they give you an Academy Award immediately. Like when you come to the set, they're like, "Here's your Oscar, you already got it." Bed bugs are a nightmare. I don't know if you've ever read The Treatment, but it's insane. The treatment's always like, burn down your house and kill your entire family. And at this point, I'm like, is she cursed? Am I dating a cursed woman? I like her, but is she cursed? Is she like Job from the Bible? Well, you remember Job? God sent down all those curses to test his faith. Is that the situation here? Is the piano gonna fall on both our heads if I don't get out of this? And then I had even scarier thought, what if me dating her is one of the curses? Like, can I even leave, or am I a part of this plan? This guy like, all right, we gave her herpes, now let's really test her faith. Send in a fat Jewish comedian who will wear her down with his hypochondria. We have a lot of good sex. Sex is important in a relationship. We have a lot of kinky sex. Very kinky. I like kinky sex, you know what I mean? Part of being in a relationship, you're having sex, you're always like, is this what everyone's doing, or am I a pervert? You never really know. You kind of never know the answer to that. I like kinky sex, and that's the thing I like about young people. Like, young people now, the new generation, you're very annoying in many ways, but you're open about your kinks, and I like that. You have no shame. That's great. I'm 39. I come from a very old-fashioned type of dating where you slowly reveal all your perversions, right? So by the time the other person has the whole fucked up picture, it's just a little too late for them to leave. That's old-fashioned dating. I'm like, yeah, I like to get pissed on, but now your name's on the lease. Gotcha! Gotcha! You're not going anywhere. Now drink some water and let's begin. Yeah. I like kinky sex. We do a lot of role playing. Role playing is awesome. You can be creative. You can have fun. My girlfriend finally gets some use out of her acting degree. It's awesome. But we do a lot of role playing. We do a lot of like master servant role playing. Like the other day, before we had sex, she was like, clean the living room. It's disgusting. Then I cleaned the living room, you know? And she's like, you missed a spot. And then she slapped me. It's fucking hot. She was like, now clean the dishes. They're filthy. Dirty animal. And I clean the dishes. And I swear to God, she goes, you know what? I'm actually not in the mood to have sex right now. Like, babe, you have to have sex with me. Otherwise, this is just an abusive relationship. If you don't fuck me right now, you're a predator. That's how this works. We have a lot of great kinky sex. I love for her to like yell at me in bed. I like her to just yell mean shit at me in bed. I love it. And she's great. She's a champ. She gets into it. Acting degree. She's very good. But lately, we've been together a year and a half. Lately, I've noticed the mean shit. I don't know. It's like she's been incorporating a lot of nagging into the dirty talk. Like, I want her to yell mean shit, but this feels like personal grievances. You know what I mean? It's like different, you know? Like we were fucking the other day and she was like, you filthy animal, you dirty animal. The way you never take out the trash and always leave it piled up and you pretend you don't see it. And when are you gonna do your taxes? It's already been 8 months. I'm like, babe, when you talk like that, you sound like my mom, okay? Which is a huge problem, because I come immediately. It's a huge problem. And then we both stare at her painting hanging above the bed. I love my girlfriend. She's a therapist, and she also believes in the horoscope. And I always tell her, you should not let your patients know that. Because those don't mix, those two things, therapy and horoscopes. What do you say to someone who's in your office crying, who's like, I keep on pushing away people my whole life, I don't know what to do? And she's just like, well, there's nothing you can do. You're a Sagittarius. You're kind of fucked. Nothing? I mean, you could have not been born in November, but it's too late for that. I'm glad you all laughed at that, because there's a lot of women in here, so I didn't know how that would go. What? It's mostly women who believe in the horoscope. That's a stereotype, but it's also 100% true. It's women and gay men who believe in the horoscope. There's only been one straight man to believe in the zodiac, and he was a serial killer. That's how crazy a straight man has to be. Fine if you believe in the horoscope. I'm not judging, you know what I mean? Like, round of applause. Who believes in it? I'm not gonna make fun of you. Round of applause. All right. All right, look at that fucking idiot over right there. Look at her. Look at this fucking moron. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm an asshole. But in my defense, I'm a Gemini, so it's not my fault. You can make fun of people who believe in the horoscope. They don't believe anyone has accountability. It's awesome. It's fine if you believe in the horoscope, but you want to be consistent. That's my point, you know? Like, I was on a date recently, right? Or not recently. I have a girlfriend. At one point it was recently, and then you keep on doing the bit. And it's been like 2 years. The date was 2 years ago. It was. If I'm gonna be completely honest, it never happened. I'm making it up. I'm 100% making it up. That's most of stand-up, by the way. 90% of stand-up is the comedian being like, can you believe this crazy shit this person I invented said to me? So I'm on the date with her. Let's call her Jessica. So we're on the date, it's going well, and then at one point she says she's an atheist, which is fine, but then 2 minutes later, she asked me my sign. And I'm like, you can't do that, Jessica, you real woman right now. You can't shit on religion, then believe in the horoscope. And she was like, why? And I'm like, I'll tell you why. Because God is way more believable than the fucking horoscope. That's true. You cannot technically prove that God doesn't exist. But you can quite easily prove that not everyone born in June has the same personality. That information is out there for anyone to see. I'll disprove the zodiac in one line. You ready? Hitler and Mr. Rogers, both Aquariuses. They both would have been read the same sign. You're a leader with gentle charisma. Now, what I love about that bit is whenever I do that bit after the show, there's always someone who comes up to me every time and goes, you know, Hitler was a Taurus. Well, then, never mind. And also, I know Hitler was a Taurus. I'm a Jew. I know everything about Hitler. I've read like 5 biographies. I also know a couple historians believe that Hitler might have been a quarter Jewish. And when I read that, I was like, God damn, they really do blame everything on the Jews, don't they? Really? Even Hitler is our fucking fault, really? Even Adolf Hitler, just another scheming Jew, apparently. But here's the thing, Village Underground. I know Hitler was a Taurus, but I've done this joke saying Adolf Hitler and Mr. Rogers are both Tauruses. And you know what? It doesn't get a laugh. Because Taurus is not a funny sound. It's clunky. Aquarius is a funny sound. It is. It's whimsical. It makes you think of the musical Hair. And I'm not going to change it to make it more accurate to the horoscope when that version doesn't get a laugh. And when I tell that to people, they're like, well, why don't you just do 2 other historical figures who have the same sign? I'm like, don't you think I fucking tried that? You think this is the first time I'm doing this bit? I've worked this bit from every fucking angle. I've tried that. It doesn't work. For a while, I did Charles Manson and Bill Gates. But the problem is, I perform in the South, and there, they don't know who the bad guy is in that scenario. It doesn't work. And after that, I did Pol Pot and Mother Teresa, and that worked for a while. But then I saw a documentary about Mother Teresa, and it turns out, bit of a bit of a It doesn't work. Hitler and Mr. Rogers are perfect. They're the exact opposite poles of human nature. They have no overlapping behavior or characteristics, and I'm not going to change it to make it more accurate to the horoscope, because the horoscope isn't fucking accurate. I'm not going to be fact-checked by something not factual. I hate the horoscope, because the horoscope is like any other dogmatic belief that distorts your reality. And only once we've really fucking questioned our beliefs and actually been skeptical of our own brain, only then can we free ourselves from the conspiracy theories and dogma and extreme ideologies that has almost bankrupted America. And I put horoscopes in that category. But mostly I hate horoscopes because they're just made up. And that's insulting, because as a comedian, I don't make shit up. So anyway, I was doing this bit recently in Soho, and after the bit, who do I see but Jessica? She was at the show, which is pretty crazy. I mean, what are the odds? That's spooky. That's really spooky. It's just weird. I mean, what are the odds that I'm doing this bit and who was at the show but the person I made up purely for the bit? Between this and the Skittles, maybe God does intervene in ways I didn't. So we started talking, and she looks great still. But, you know, I'm in a relationship now. And my girlfriend is great, and I love her, and Jessica is not real. She's a fantasy. So we started talking. At one point, she goes, you know, there's still a problem with your bit. I'm like, what? She goes, here's the problem. You say Hitler and Mr. Rogers have no overlapping behavior or characteristics. Well, then how do you explain this actual passage from Hitler's autobiography, Mein Kampf. And then she took out Mein Kampf, which is fucked up that she had it on her. A little crazy. And then she read this actual passage, which is really in Mein Kampf. She goes, "Only once we have rid the Jew of his influence and power on the world stage. Then, and only then, will it be a beautiful day in the neighborhood." Fucking Jessica.
Life is not just a dream. Well, it is, but it's got time that binds it. Time to wake up and see there's so much more to get out of it.